Hey sports fans, this is Straight from the Basement with Tommy Ommy. I'm a sports fan who always said, if I never played a sport professionally, then I want to talk about it. I'm born and raised in New York City. Played organized basketball for several well-known teams in the mid-'70s and the early '80s, such as the legendary Home Cold Rucker Tournament, Melbank, Stone Gym and Riverside Church, LaGuardia House, and my all-time favorite, Each One Teach One. Having sports in my life at an early age always kept me out of trouble. If I wasn't playing basketball, I was either playing football or baseball. Hey sports fans, this is Straight from the Basement with Tommy Ommy, where my opinions, views, and facts will cover the hottest, the latest, and the past sports events. Welcome. Once again, I want to continue to thank everyone who has liked and subscribed to my podcast. And if this is the first time you're viewing it, please do the same. As always, before I even get into today's topic, yes, I got one hot topic I must talk about. I'm talking about the Indianapolis Colts starting quarterback decision. If you ain't here by now, listen. Danny Dimes Jones has just beaten out the rookie Anthony Richardson for the quarterback starting position. Less than 2 weeks. I'm laughing because most media outlets believe that the Indianapolis Colts head coach and GM lost their mind. Listen, they got valid reasons. And I ain't gonna get into their reasons. But I believe, Tommy Ommy, write down, I truly believe that Danny Dimes will have a very good season. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of 3 reasons. I'm going to give you one that some media outlets indicate. So here's the first reason why I think Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, will have a very good season. I'm talking about that season, the season he had when he brought my Giants to the playoffs. That type of season. I'm just saying, this is what I believe. Here's the first reason. The Colts offensive line is currently ranked 5th in the NFL. Now that's by Pro Football Focus, right? Then there's 2 other media outlets that got a bigger difference far as the ranking when it comes to that O-line with the Colts. No need to even get into that. But they all indicate key players in the free agency. They lost some. But the Colts offensive line is still considered one of the best in the league. As you can see, I'm smiling because I'm thinking about certain media, sportscasters, analysts who just dogged the whole idea, not starting Anthony Richardson and what the Colts have given up. You know what I'm saying? To get to this point, what they given up to get Danny Dimes and Anthony Richardson. And now, you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. But I'm going to give you my 2 main reasons that comes from me why I believe Danny Dimes Jones is going to have a very good season. Number 1, Danny Dimes is not starting. He is now starting in a small market city. Think about that. There's no more pressure in the big market city here in New York. He couldn't handle it. We know that. We seen that. He couldn't handle it. It wasn't for him. Coming out of Duke University, listen, it just wasn't for him. So he has no more big market pressure on him. That's number 2. And my third reason is this. Remember Danny Jones in his Giant career here played with a shitty, and I'm going to say it just like that, shitty offensive line. Again, he had one season, he had one good season when they had a good offensive line, and that was the one good season that took my Giants to the playoffs. And then after that, we won that playoff game. Of course, we won and lost in the divisional. And then Danny got that $160 million, which he should have never gotten, but that's for another story. So, I believe in Daniel Jones. I believe Danny Dimes this season will have a very, very good season. And I'm going to leave it like that. So let's get started with today's topic. I'm talking about the NFL 25-26 season. I'm talking part one, people. Yeah, I'm talking part one. You're going to know why in a second. Why I'm talking part one. Listen, it's back. My second love in sports is back. I'm talking about football, baby. Listen, if your GOAT ain't up and you a football fan, and we know we got less than 2 weeks of football, come on. We want to see them get hit hard and nasty. What? Come on. This is what we live for as football fans. Listen, let me tell you something. You got several teams. I'm talking several teams and several players that must improve from last year. You know what I'm saying? They contracts, everything is in stake for a lot of teams. You know what I'm saying? Some teams are just rebuilding, so it don't matter if they stay in the gutter. But for several teams and several players, they must improve, and they must show that they improved from last season. And then you got a few teams and a few players this season coming up that must show us and show themselves that they believe, that they belong in the deep playoff conversation. Because, listen, media outlets is ready. Preseason is just about over. We got less than 2 weeks of football. Listen, it's on and it's going to be popping. So, I want to break down and give you my take. I want to break down and give you my opinions and my views on how far each team will go. And I want to start off with the AFC because, and I'll tell you why later on, why I'm starting off with this AFC. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that conference for the last few years. It's just that conference. So, let's start with the AFC East. First in line is the Buffalo Bills. AFC champs last year. I'm going to try my best not to get amped as I go through these divisions, man. As I go through these divisions, I'm going to try my best not to get amped. But those goddamn Buffalo Bills, man, they supposed to be in the Super Bowl last year against those Eagles. I ain't going to get into it why, because I ain't got the time. But don't get me started, right? Mr. MVP, Josh Allen, Coach Sean McDermott. Listen, they rebuilding that D-line. Offensive line is still ranked, if not the best, the second best. Probably, and this is the way I see them, probably going back to the championship, or they're going to make their Super Bowl appearance. This is where I got Buffalo Bills going. This is my opinion. Again, my opinion only. I want to move on because we got a lot to talk about. Miami Dolphins is next up. Listen, quarterback Tua, he must stay healthy. That's the only way the Dolphins has a shot and at least getting a wild card spot. Tua goes down at any given time frame, it's a wrap. The cheetah's definitely gone. I want to move on to the New England Patriots. Yeah, they still a young team. But listen, Stephon Diggs, he's almost back. He's almost 100%. They're going to need him on the field to have any chance in getting a wild card spot, a potential wild card spot. When I say a potential, meaning it's a maybe. Just letting you guys know, right? So when I say potential, yeah, the Patriots got a potential spot. But to be honest with you, I don't think they're making the playoffs. And I'm going to stick and stay with that. But they have a potential to get a wild card spot. But again, I don't see them making the playoffs. So I want to move on to the New York Jets. Yeah, they in rebuilding mode. New York Jets is in rebuilding mode. The running game is going to be used a lot because they got no choice. Because I don't believe the head coach is going to trust Justin Fields, just like the Bears, just like the Chicago Bears didn't trust his arm. So he's going to be doing a lot of running. The running game is going to be the running game, and that's how they're going to get their offense. Do I see the New York Jets doing something this year? No, I don't see them making the playoffs. I'll leave it like that. I don't want to sound like a hater here in New York, so I'm going to leave it like that and move on to the AFC West. Denver Broncos. Yeah, those Broncos last year. Oh, it was almost a sleeper. Ah, man, they was damn near in every other game last year. Sophomore Bo Nix this year, the quarterback, who I like him a lot. Oh, he gonna show his ass this season. Trust me on that. Listen, they re-signed a lot of key players. Sean Payton, head coaching. Now he got his mojo up. Listen, I see a wild card, not a potential, a wild card, a definite wild card position for the Denver Broncos. I'm just saying. So I want to move on to those Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, still strong, on a mission, veteran team all the way around, head coach, Hall of Famer. We already know what it is. I got them either going back to the championship or going back to the Super Bowl. That's just the Kansas City Chiefs, y'all. I ain't nothing else to say. Moving on to those Las Vegas Raiders. Coach Pete Carroll making his debut. Less than 2 weeks. Yes. Key veteran players they have. Yes. I think they're going to be a sleeper. I'm just saying. I think the Raiders is going to be a sleeper for a potential wild card spot. A potential wild card spot is what I got the Vegas Raiders. Moving on to those Chargers. San Diego Chargers. Listen, Coach Jim Harbaugh, we already know once he get 1 year in and on any new team, that second year, shit is on. Trust me, watch out for the Chargers, y'all. Quarterback Justin Herbert, who's been my man from day one when he first came into the season. But this season, he got to be the man. Every game, he got to be the man. That's what I'm trying to say. In order for them to get a wild card spot, I got them getting a wild card, a definite wild card spot. But it's up to Justin. He got to do the damn thing on with that arm. And he got to stay healthy. That's all I'm saying. So, I just finished with the AFC East and the AFC West. You already know where I'm going at with both all these teams so far. I want to move on. As you can see, I'm hot. I'm amped. I'm amped. I'm amped because this is my second love. So I want to move on to the AFC North before I go left. Baltimore Ravens, baby. We're going to start off with the Ravens. Yeah, they still strong. Championship or Super Bowl appearances. That's my opinion. I got them either going to the championship or going to the Super Bowl finally. This is what I'm saying. Moving on. No need to even talk about the Ravens no more. Moving on to those Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, I'm out in the AFC North, y'all. Bengals. They made several moves, but they should get a playoff spot. Not a wild card spot. They made several moves, but I believe they get a playoff spot, a definite playoff spot. Listen, I even got them potentially winning the first game and going into the divisional round. This is what I'm saying. So, Cleveland Browns, we move on with them. Cleveland's, they come out the gate, not with all this drama. They come out the gate with all this drama. I don't see the Cleveland Browns doing shit. I'm going to say it just like that. Under 500 team at best. And I'm going to leave it alone. I don't want to dog them too much. I wish, Shador all the blessings and all the luck. I hope he plays and all that. We're going to see what Flacco do. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah. The old man Rodgers, in my opinion, he's been done for the last 4 or 5 years. I don't want to disrespect him no more. I'll leave it like that. But the defense, the Steelers defense is still good. Not good, very good. I got them. If Rodgers can stay healthy and the Steelers defense can do what they do, we already know what Mike Tomlin is going to do on that sideline. I got them as a potential wild card spot. So, we're going to end the AFC with the AFC South. Listen, I'm talking about the Houston Texans. Still got that strong defense, y'all. But they weak. They weak with the O-line coming into this season again. My man CJ Stroud, he's going to have trouble again this season. He's going to be running for his life. I don't know if he's going to be able to stay healthy. They're going to have to figure this shit out. They had all summer. They're coming into this season with one of the weakest O-lines and expect this man to make miracles. CJ, I'm going to be praying for you, my brother. Listen. I got them as a potential because the defense is mean. They're well coached. I think they can do something, some patchwork with that O-line as the season go for CJ to make some things happen. So I got them going probably potential wild card spot. Not a definite, a potential wild card spot. We're going to move on to the Indianapolis Colts. And as I said earlier in my hot topic, Danny Dimes is the starting quarterback. Yes, they got one of the strongest O-line, right? Listen, Danny Dimes can read the defense. That's one of his biggest issues. He doesn't know where the safety is at. He doesn't read the defense on the passing play. Interceptions galore. If he can cut down on that shit and he can read the defense and he can be on his A game, I got the Colts. Yeah, I got them as a potential getting a wild card spot. Yeah. We move on with those Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, Trevor, quarterback, Lawrence. Everything is on him. Everything is on him. Because if he ain't on his A game, every week, listen, under 500 in the gutter. That's where I see the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Trevor has to have a great season. And I don't see great happening. So we're going to see. And we're going to end it with the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, they're on a long-term rebuilding, y'all. Long-term rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have a rough season. It's going to be ugly for them. We're talking about gutter. We talking about gutter. Gutter. So, I just gave you guys my breakdown on who I believe in AFC, on where they going, how far they going. You heard my opinions, you heard my views, right? You heard all that. This is the reason why I started with this conference, the AFC, because they got the star power with the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks in the NFL, the elite ones, is in the AFC. No disrespect to the quarterbacks in the NFC, but listen, NFC ain't got shit when it comes to quarterbacking, and no disrespect to Jalen Hurts. Listen, I know you're a Super Bowl champ, but listen, the star power with the quarterbacks again, it's in the AFC. And this is the reason why I had to start with the AFC.